So, good morning. I came in here and my computer was like, "Oh, your mouse is dead." And I'm like, "I just charged that damn mouse like really recently." And then I look at my one of my two phones that I've got going on here. One is like my old phone that I just keep plugged in, and it's also almost dead. So I'm like, "What the hell?" So my computer's stuck on, but I can't move the mouse anywhere. And then my other phone is almost dead because apparently the charging cord is not working. So I stole a mouse from downstairs, which I have to remember to return, and took another charging cord. So a little flustered, but I'm gonna drink some of this coffee and take it down a few notches. How are you guys doing? Satan's baby mother. Interesting. Interesting. Good morning. Hi, Morgan. Hi, Janine. Good morning, Michelle. Hi, Nara. Hello, hello. Hi, Misty. Hi, Brooke. Tastes like chocolate. Hello. Hi, Maggie. And hi, Anna. And hi, Ron. And Mama Pin. Hello. Hi, Christine. And Jen. Oh, I haven't seen you in a minute. Hello. Hi, Cindy. Hello, hello. Hi, Melissa. Good evening, Sarah. Wow, we've got some OG on today. Hi, Lauren. Good to see everyone. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Can you show me how to use a pepper grinder, please? I cannot. I cannot. I think you're on the wrong live. Oh, TikTok. All right. Well, it's Monday again. There's some weird stuff happening in the world. No big deal. Yesterday was the Super Bowl. Did you guys watch that? I actually did watch it. Um, and I'm still processing all of those Jesus commercials. Did you guys see those? There's a few of them. Those were interesting. But yeah, why don't we go ahead and rate your rate your vibe this morning? How are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, how's your energy? Hmm? Well, I don't know if Alfie B is like, what in the world's going on? Shed some light on this. I have been. I mean, I've been telling you how I feel about it, which is that the world is ending. But if you go back on my IGTV, you'll find a channeling from like a week ago or so. Um, check that out. Check that out. Okay, we've got some fours. We've got some PMS. We've got some eight and a half, 7.5. Hi, Carrie. We've got a 6. We've got a low with no numbers. All right, a 4. Okay, a 3. The people outside are not in a good mood this morning. Like outside your house, or do you mean like collective? We have a lot of 4s this morning. A lot of 4s this morning. Cat. I'm peaceful. Don't want to fight. Feel like a 7, but have no reason to be. Hey, just take it. Just take it as it comes. Physically like an 8, but I have more work than humanly possible today. Okay. Oh, yes, literally in the street while walking my dog. Oh my goodness. It's early for that, isn't it? It's early for fighting. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Nicole. Listen, love muffins. I'm excited that we're doing our workshop this evening. I can't wait to connect with you guys. Um, okay, you're thinking 6. All right. Yeah, it's a very like drink your coffee and mind your business type of vibe right now, isn't it? I'm over here just like, what color couch should I get for my new house? Because honestly, you just gotta kind of pick and choose um, where you're gonna put your focus. But it is a wild time. It is a wild time. No, literally though. That's what I've been doing. Like, I'll be like, one day I'll be like, oh my God, channeling the literal end of the world. And then the next day I'm like, do I want a rust velvet couch or a mustard velvet couch? These are very important decisions to make. So, Jen, good morning. Finally feeling almost back to normal. So sick the last number of weeks. Oof, I'm so glad you're feeling better. Honestly, the way that the weather's been going, like hot, cold, that is not working well. And I'm even feeling like I don't think I'm sick, but like I feel sniffly. You know what I mean? And I haven't felt like like when I wake up, it's just like, and I know it's because of the crazy weather shifting. Um, so yeah. Well, it's Coffee and Magic. So we're not doing live channeling this morning, even though I feel like you kind of want me to. We're not doing that this morning. We're going to pull some cards and get some insight and see what's going on. We are at, where are we? February 13th. Okay. So we're like halfway through February. Um, if you remember, the big energy shift for you guys is really not until the end of March, okay? So just kind of keep that in there. By the end of March, I think I'm not going to say we're going to be desensitized to some wildness, but I feel like there's going to be a lot that is that is going to be more mainstream as far as like what the hell is going on. I think we're going to see a lot of weird stuff in the next month. So that's collective. But for you, for those of you who are feeling like, I know a lot of you guys are feeling like, oh my God, like there's stuff I should be doing. What do I do? But I feel also kind of stuck. You're still in a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you are still in that goo state, right? So it's not supposed to shift until the end of March. So just be easy. Like I said, drink your coffee, mind your business, and just let things kind of reshuffle and shift. A lot of you are starting kind of like a brand new life, honestly, this spring, myself included. And in order to do that, you've got to rest up. So if it's not go time, don't make it go time. It's February. It's not spring yet. So just take it easy if you need that. If you need to just kind of not push yourself so much because if it doesn't feel like it's in flow, then you're probably forcing it, you know? But pop off time is not until end of March. So you're not missing anything is what I'm saying. Like you're not behind the curve or any of those things. This is the way it naturally is happening. So like don't fight the feeling, you know what I mean? It'd be much easier for you. Um, Quick announcement before we get into this. I sent out just an email to you guys this weekend um, offering guinea pig tester sessions if you would like to um, work with me one on one in more of a therapeutic relationship. And apparently you do. So I have a lot of requests that are coming in for that. I feel like I'm going to be able to get everybody in, which is great. But if you are one of the people who had told me like a couple weeks ago and you haven't like booked and gotten your slots, make sure that you do that with me. Make sure you fill everything out because you guys really want to do that. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. I can't wait to work with you guys on more of a one-on-one level. But just make sure that you have your spot confirmed because I'm booking pretty fast now for the next 3 months. And if you don't know what I'm talking about and you're interested in working with me one on one, you can just send me a DM and then I will shoot you all the information that you need. Um, We've got people starting as soon as March. Some people are waiting until April or May. I don't know, but that's happening. Okay, so let's get into the cards. They're nice and warm and shuffled. Our three things this morning are, well, okay, it's animals this morning. Not necessarily a genre of animals. The first one is a black lab puppy, real smushy. So, black lab puppy is the first one. The second one is Siamese cat. And the third one is a black bear. So, which one are you feeling today? Drop it in the comments. Um, we've got a black lab puppy, Siamese cat, and a black bear. And as always, if none of the animals are speaking to you this morning, just listen to all three and, you know, grab the one you need. Okay. So, black lab puppy, Siamese cat, or black bear. I really do need a little more of this coffee. It's yummy. You know what I did this morning is I grind my beans every morning for each cup. And this morning I took a cinnamon stick and smashed it up and put it in and then ground it with the coffee grounds. And then I did my pour over, and that's good. That's delicious. I love it. Okay, so we're about to draw these cards. If you're just joining, you're choosing from Black Lab Puppy, Siamese Cat, or Black Bear. Oh yeah, Lady and the Tramp. Oh, I used to love that. Love that movie. All right, you ready? Okay. Oh, Arlene. The song is called "I've Done My Thinking," and you can find it on Spotify. And it's by somebody called Sem. I think it's Uncle Sem, but SEM. So I've done my thinking. Sem, SEM. That should allow you to find it. I'm sorry, I saw your email pop through over the weekend and didn't get to respond to it. Okay, are you ready for your black lab? Oh, wait. Are you ready for black lab? Okay, thank you, Christine. Instagram, are you ready? Okay. YouTube. Okay, so if you chose black lab, again, the three choices are black lab, Siamese cat, and black bear. This is your black lab. I'm going to tell you what the story is now. You've got the mystery. You've got letting go. And you've got the novice. What seems to be trending with us in Coffee and Magic is like new and creative ways for these cards to express that, like, you're starting something new. Let go of the old thing, like every time, right? So let's see how they're going to explain it this morning. So you've got the mystery, letting go, and the novice. And if you remember, the mystery is a crinkly card in my deck because this card, when I first got this deck, which was like 7 years ago, I was so annoyed because I kept getting this card over and over and over again. And I've lost the book for this deck, so I can't really remember exactly what the book says for the mystery, but it's something to the effect of like, you've got to trust the universe and like, you don't know what's about to happen, but blah, blah, blah. And I kept getting it over and over again when I first got this deck. It was my first Oracle deck. And one day I was just like so irritated that I crinkled up the card and threw it. And then immediately was like, oof, what's wrong with you? But I put it between, two hankies or whatever, and I ironed it, and it's okay. But it still bears the scars of my anger and frustration about this card. So if when we're talking about the mystery this morning, you feel a little bit of like homicidal rage, it's okay. It's natural. Okay. But also let's listen. So you've got the mystery, letting go, and the novice. This is your brand new journey. You're starting off on a brand new chapter in your life. It's not even a chapter, it's a new part, remember? And what is happening in this space, in this time right now, is that while you've begun this journey, there's some like part of you, right, that just is like doesn't believe you've actually really started it. And it's because like maybe you were waiting for like a painted sign or like some neon lights to flash to signal the beginning of something. But that's rarely how this works. I don't want to say it never works that way because that would be the day a neon sign shows up in my life. But there's not usually a very clear demarcation that's like the switch has been flipped. You just, it started, guys. Okay, it started. And what has to happen now is a realization that needs to trickle down through all of your systems. Because while maybe one part of you understands that you're starting a whole new thing now and you're in it, another part of you is having some trouble letting go of some things that do not belong in your new reality. This is hard. So I'm not saying like, what's your deal? Because this is easy. It's not easy because it's scary. Why is it scary? Because you have to trust. You have to trust a lot of things that you can't see or feel, that aren't necessarily tangible, but yet are the most real things. That's what you're being asked to trust. And it's annoying. It's annoying. But like, how do you expect to ever fully find yourself in this new creation of yours if you are still holding on to all of your old creations really tightly? Some stuff is not translating to this new space at all. It's kind of like me and the damn couches, right? Like I'm going through my house right now. This is very literal. Maybe for you, some of you, if you're moving, this is very literal for you too. I'm walking around this house that has a lot of objects in it. A lot of them are mine. And it's stuff like, what do I want to bring with me into this new life? Do I really want to step into my new life already populating a brand new space with old shit? Do I want to do that? And I've never thought about it that way before because usually, back in the day when I would move, you just bring everything, right? Like you get rid of some stuff, but like that wouldn't fit, but like all your little things, you just bring them. I didn't even think about it. But don't know. A little more, a little more consciousness at this time. Because where you're going, it's different now. Because everything you've been building is so clear and so real. And it's not just slapped together, you know? And yeah, there could be that space inside of you that's like, well, what if I need this? Or what if I need to be reminded of this or that? And I will ask you, do you truly want to be reminded of this? Or would you like to go forth and make some new memories in life? You know? I don't know. Anyway, that's your black lab because if you've been waiting for the new thing to start, this is just the message to you that it already did. Okay? So Pew, pew, pew. Okay, Black Lab. Thank you, Jacinda. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's just not coming with me. But all right, we're shuffling now for Siamese cat. I just think it's so funny that we've been getting these messages so incessantly lately about the new, the new, the new. Like, are any of you guys not about to step into, or are you already stepped into a brand new space? Like, is anybody not doing that? I'm just literally curious to know, because the cards don't indicate that that is the case. You know what I mean? Every time, every time. And I do shuffle them really well. I mean, I think so anyway. Beth says, I'm literally stepping into a new space this week. I love it. Love it. Oh, soul engineer coaching is too. Yeah, so see, we're all kind of vibing on that same plane, right? Time for new. Jen says, I'm literally going on a 3-week journey starting Wednesday. Okay. Where are you going? Maybe divorce. You wouldn't be the only one, my friend. Oh my goodness. Speaking of, all right. India. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is your Siamese cat. And if you're ready, let me know, because I have it here. Good morning. All right, we're ready over there. Y'all ready? Ready? All right. So if you're just joining us, this is the Siamese cat pull. The next one will be black bear. Okay. So you're 2 out of 3. So wait for this one, because okay, you got the stag, disruption again. Do you remember last time? Whenever that Friday, and the love card. Holy hell! Listen. Okay, listen. So for some of you, this actually is literally an ending of a relationship. And you know me, if you know me, I'm not one to come on here and say shit like that. I actually do my best not to. I stay away from that kind of thing. That's kind of like when TikTok asked me, like, will Donnie and I stay together forever? And I'm like, this is not what we're here for. Okay, but this one is hitting on that. This obviously doesn't mean everybody. But if you chose Siamese cat, and this is something that's on deck for you, this is a split, y'all. It's a split. Okay. And what is there to say about this? Probably a lot. And probably a lot's already been said. And it almost feels like you've circled the drain on this one quite a few times, right? And the drain has appeared yet again. This is your adventure. May I remind you, this life is your adventure. You don't have to stay anywhere that you don't want to. You may think that you have to because of promises made, obligations, responsibilities, whatever it is, lack of mobility, but something's up here, and it is a split, okay? A split in a relationship. Whenever the disruption card comes, a few things are guaranteed, okay? One of those things is that something has happened that you didn't want to happen and appears to ruin your plans. Okay. So there's always that initial element of like bad surprise, right? Like, not the surprise I wanted. It's like everything was lined up, ready to go, and then like a warehouse flooded, like stuff like that. It's like, why? Why? It's like, why is the universe trying to ruin my plans? There's usually a very simple answer for that can get complicated, but let's be simple for today. Disruptions happen when the alignment that is going to get you towards experiences that you want to have in this life, when you're just far off base for those things. All of us decided, okay, we're coming here. I want to experience what it's like to love this kind of person. I want to experience what it is to climb this mountain. I want to experience this and this and this, whatever. And you've created a person, a self, right? A being with wants, needs, and desires, specific personality traits, traumas, even, right? All of these things come together to build a person who is, in its most authentic form, will run across the experiences that you wanted to have because you'll be drawn to those things. But what happens when you don't allow yourself to be magnetized towards certain experiences because you're like, I can't do that because of this, this, and this, right? Well, if it's something that you really came here to experience and you're way off path with it, typically a disruption will happen, and it won't happen just once. You know it's serious when it keeps happening as you ignore it, and it keeps getting louder and louder. Usually starts as just a tap and a whisper, like, "Psst, hey, remember blah, 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 blah." And then you're like, not right now. And then it's like, okay. And then it pinches you. It's like, hey. And you're like, okay, that's annoying, but like, I'll get to it when I get to it. Then you get your knees kicked out. You know what I mean? So this is not playing, the energy is not playing with you now, because whatever's circling around again for you has already circled for you several times. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not surprising, I don't think, for anybody. Okay. So there's that. You also have the stag. And the truth of the matter is, right, when a marriage fails, think about that. Why did I use those words? Why did I say when a marriage fails? Because our society has taught us that if a marriage doesn't last forever, that it's a failure. And wow, what a burden. Typically, the burden is most heavy on the woman's shoulders because somehow it's a woman's responsibility to keep a marriage going, right? Speaking in hetero situations, because this is very much in that vibe. Um, it's time to not allow that to be your experience, though. And that's why the stag is coming through. So if you've been feeling this heaviness, like, if I end this, I'm giving up. If I end this, I'm failing at something. If I end this, like, I'm not seeing something through and being a consistent person. Um, that's wild, guys. This is your life. This is partnership with another human being. If it's not working, what the fuck are you doing? Right? If it's not working and the two of you cannot meet with each other's minds in a space to make it feel better for both of you with active participation on both sides, what are you doing anymore? Right? Like, why? There is no award at the end of compromising in your relationships for the longest amount of time. There just isn't, right? What do you want on your tombstone? Oh, she just gave everything she had and put everybody else first. Okay? The stag is here to remind you to walk into the room with your heart open, shoulders back, and head held level. I'm not going to say head held high, because that also has an assumption to it that you've done something that might make your head hang low. No, you don't hold your head high. Don't hold it low. Just hold it in a freaking neutral position. Let your spine relax and just try to feel at ease with who you are as a person and your decisions because you deserve to live your life in alignment with what feels right for you. You do. That's what you came here to do. And if that means the ending of a relationship, then so be it, right? You're going to be all right. Have some pride in yourself. Be proud of yourself. Okay? That is your Siamese cat. I have a crush. Will I meet Sergio N? But Sarah, I don't like being scared. Well, I think I can speak for everybody here when I say that everybody else likes being scared. It's our favorite, right? Listen, I get it. I mean, I think that I think that fear, like when I really have sat down with this with myself a lot because I think that we're so intelligent, you know, and we can take things rooted in fear and spin them in a different way and make it seem like change isn't necessary, right? And so, I've been in therapy with this one for a minute. And in the processing of that, I did realize that, like, a lot of the reasons I stayed in my marriage for so long was because deep down, I was scared to be without it. I was scared. I didn't know who I was without that as the safety net, so to speak. But then what did I realize? It wasn't really the safety net that I thought it was, at all. And so that has helped the fear when you start to see things more clearly. Um, it's disturbing, but it also helps because you're like, wow, I really thought that was stability. But it turns out, you know, all right, here comes your black bear. Let's see. Let's see what it is. Exactly. It's that I think it's like that metaphor of the gilded cage, truly. And like when you're in that gilded cage that you're going to be fed, right? You're going to have your basic needs met, but you won't be free, right? All right. Black bear. Guess who didn't come to play this morning? This deck of cards. All right. So if you're just joining us, this is the third. And it is Black Bear. Our choices today were Black Lab Puppy, Siamese Cat, and Black Bear. And this is Black Bear. If you missed the other parts of it and you're like, I want to know what the puppy one was, you can go on my YouTube and watch it once I finish, or you can watch it on my IGTV. I have all of the Coffee Magics available to you as soon as I click end. Boom, there it is. Okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready? Okay, Christina's ready. And hello, Christine. We have a couple Christines. This is Black Bear, but you tell me. Okay. Well, here you go. It's the fear card. Like, who is eavesdropping on our conversation right now, right? It's the fear card. It's the bard. And it's the burden. So let's get into it. Damn cards. There's a bird out there just making the funniest little racket. Everyone's like, rude. What you can do, right? It's not me. Okay, so you've got fear, burden, and bard. All right, so let's start with our friend that we've already been talking about. It's fear. Let's talk about feelings for a second. Do you know how me, like I, and many other people, I'm sure that you found on the internet, love to say, feel your feelings, feel your feelings, feel your feelings, feel your feelings. Hey, you should feel your feelings, right? That gets said a lot. Do you agree? And when someone tells you to feel your feelings, does that feel like, wow, I wish I had ever thought of that? Or does it feel like, go fuck yourself? You know what I mean? How does it hit when someone says, feel your feelings? Go ahead, feel your feelings. You can let me know. And hi, Julie. So the thing is, yes, you need to feel your feelings. But if no one's taught you how to feel your feelings, telling you need to feel your feelings is really not, it's really not it, you know? It's not where it's at. It's just like, great, you know? Um, so let's talk about it before I tell you to feel your feelings again, just so that you have a more tangible action to take when you've been told that you need to feel your feelings. So, typically, if you are experiencing an emotion that is uncomfortable or triggering for you, you will be prompted, right, to either like run away from it, shove it down, or do something to get rid of that feeling, that sensation, because it's uncomfortable. You don't like it, right? Totally fair. Now, when someone says, but you need to feel your feelings, it's very important. How do you go from like running away from something that feels very uncomfortable to actually sitting and feeling it? What's the mechanism, right? The thing that's usually missing is connecting it into your physical body. Okay. It never translates, right? It doesn't translate immediately. So when you experience the emotion of fear, first of all, right? And you're like, oof, I don't like feeling scared, gotta go, gotta go. Instead of that, the mechanism of feeling your feeling in the fear would be to take a damn breath, right? First of all, and then ask yourself some questions about that feeling, right? Where in my body do I feel that fear? What connects to that fear? What other sensations connect to that fear? Is there a color associated, a smell associated? Bring it into the body. Bring it into a tangible physical space. And then take a moment to feel it. And remind yourself that as you feel it, every moment that you allow yourself to feel it in your body is a moment closer to it processing out. Okay? We're not feeling our feelings to live within them because feelings move all the time. You don't live in a specific feeling, you live in millions of feelings throughout the entire day. You go through ranges of emotions, and they're just some emotions like fear, anger, sadness, that we tend to make destination emotions, right? We tend to make whole landscapes out of them by holding on to them when all they really need to do is move through. So, next time you're like, clearly I need to feel my feelings, just take a minute and ask yourself where in your body you feel it. And let that be the jump off point to allowing yourself to actually sit in a feeling for half a second and then letting it move through. Does that make sense? Um, but the other part of this, because there's quite a few other parts to this. This is the part one of this situation with the fear. Now, typically, this is going to be about like, hey, you need to write a book, but today it is not. Today, the bard is connecting to your fear and the heaviness, because what happens when you get scared, right? What happens when that fear is activated? Do you find yourself like kind of spiraling into a web weaving of tragedy and reasons why you shouldn't do things, or how dangerous something is, or how you can't do this, or whatever it is, or someone's going to think this about me? Do you find yourself just like really creating some stories, really creating a narrative that spins out from a point of fear? This whole pull is actually a process, okay? And it's a process that you've likely been using for a while, right? I feel something uncomfortable, I'm scared, I'm heavy with it, and then I create a story around it. When you create a story around an emotion, what happens? You pin it into that space, and now it's become more tangible. The same thing happens with emotions you want to feel, right? So if you're really good at doing this, at pinning down and fleshing out emotions that you don't feel comfortable feeling, you're also excellent at doing that same thing with emotions that you do want to feel, right? But the trick is to kind of get in the middle where you're not pinning anything down, right? Just experiencing it, enjoying it, or not, whatever, but allowing it to keep moving. The fear that's coming through, and I'm sorry if this is word soup this morning because it's a lot of information with this particular poll. The vibes for this one is basically that you're at this point in your life where it's time to take control of your own narrative. And you are going to continue to experience emotions that you've had before. And it's not because you're not growing, it's not because you're not learning your lesson. It's because you're being given an opportunity to react differently to that very similar energy. And that reaction that's different is the growth. Do you see what I mean? You can't change what's happening outside of you. What you can change is how you react to it. And that's how you change your story. That's how you create left turns and many different timelines to explore, is when you behave differently. And so right now, you are in that space. And I think that the space feels tight, it feels very non-expansive, and it feels scary. And it feels like there's not a lot that, like, what are you talking about, Sarah? There's nowhere to go. But the answer is in your reaction and perception, and how different that is than how you would normally react and perceive. It doesn't have to be a huge difference either to make a huge shift. Just little clicks to the left, little clicks to the right, and you're in a whole new universe. Promise. I know it happens because I see it within myself, right? I mean, I come and talk to you guys twice a week, and I've been doing this for years. Like my time hops pop up, and I'm like, damn, who is that chick? And I can watch the growth in myself as I share what I'm experiencing through my filter, right? I can see that, and I feel that it continues to happen more and more and more. It never ends, but the way that I treat myself through these processes is what really changes. The decisions I make really change everything. And you're right there. And if you're scared right now, babes, it's okay. Like, for most of you, like, especially like we've talked lately, if you're scared, I mean, like, be scared, dude. Like, you're doing wild stuff. You're making big shifts and changes. It is scary. Like, fear is not bad. It is appropriate a lot of the time. You just don't want to live there, right? And now is your ability to write the story a little differently. That's all. And just little changes are going to make a huge difference and shift you out of the rut feeling. But I will caveat that by reminding you what I said in the beginning, which is that you are still in the goo because it is the middle of winter. I know that it's like 50 degrees here in Pennsylvania, but that doesn't mean winter time is over. It's not spring yet. The shift is coming at the end of March. So if you're feeling like, there's nothing, I don't know what to do, don't do anything. Still be goo. Parts are moving around. You're learning about yourself. Okay. And it will be much more clear what the action is that you need to take as we get closer to the end of March. Okay. So pressure off for a second, just for a second. All right. Oof. Tell you what, guys, Monday does typically serve it up though. I feel like Mondays are always that day where it's like, wow. Oh, There's something else I wanted to tell you before I let you go this morning. What was it? Hmm. I can't remember. Oh, I remember. So this is not obviously connected to any cards, but I'm doing a challenge with myself this week. It's a secret challenge. I'm not doing like a TikTok challenge. Um, but here's my challenge to myself because I've been noticing that I do this a lot. I say I'm sorry all the time, and I don't really mean it. Like I just say it reflexively, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, right? And then I say I'm sorry a lot, and I do really mean it. And I find that I apologize for many instances of speaking my mind or taking up space. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, but, or I'm sorry that I said those things. Did that make you uncomfortable or whatever? And I'm challenging myself to not do that for a week. And every time I'm tempted to apologize for having my own emotions, speaking my mind, setting a boundary, or literally anything, I'm using different phrases. Like, if I'm late for something, I'm so sorry I'm late. Thank you for waiting for me, shit like that. Because when you apologize, you're in those ways. It really, first of all, it really waters down what your apologies mean, right? So what if I spend like 90% of my time like apologizing for stuff? If I actually do something that I am actually very sorry for that does warrant an apology, my apology doesn't really mean that much, right? It's just very reflexive and hollow because I apologize all the time. Maybe I want to save my apologies for when I really do have something that I heartfeltly want to apologize for. And instead, stop saying I'm sorry for everything. I'm not sorry, but I was. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was sorry for taking up space. I was sorry for speaking my mind. And a lot of that apology energy is insecurity and not feeling like I deserve to take up the same amount of space as somebody else. And I don't feel that way about myself anymore, but the reflex to use those words is still there. So I'm working on that this week. And if you want to work on it with me and just kind of pay attention to your apologies, maybe that would be a fun activity for us. And we'll check in on Friday. Okay. Well, I love you guys. Have an amazing week. I'm back on Friday at 10 a.m. Remember, if you are interested in doing one-on-one sessions together, send me a DM on Instagram or send me an email and I'll connect with you then. But yeah, I think that's it. Love you guys. Darn mouse.